Hello, and today we're going to cover the question, does health insurance cover wigs or hair pieces? And the answer is yes, sometimes they do. Generally, we prescribe them and call them cranial prostheses, that it actually says on the prescription, and it's possibly covered by your insurance, but there are very specific requirements, so we're going to go over those today. In this lecture, I'll call it, I'm going to give you some practical tips. The most practical of all is I turn this into a worksheet, so when you call your insurance to ask about it, everything is there for you, so you can just circle things as you go. But let's go over it. So the step one to getting a hairpiece is to contact your insurance. And the first thing you're going to ask is just simply, is your policy going to cover a hairpiece? And if it does cover a hairpiece, what type? It might be listed under durable medical equipment or prostheses. Also, how much will your insurance cover? Sometimes they cover 100%, sometimes they cover up to 1,000, sometimes 350, and also sometimes you have to pay up front and then get reimbursed later, or your insurance can pay for it up front. And also, often there's very specific hair loss diagnoses that are covered. So you should ask specifically when you're on the phone what hair loss diagnosis should be listed on the prescription if you have it, and possibly what is the ICD-10 code. The ICD-10 codes, that's how we shorthand write medical diagnoses. It's something that everybody in healthcare uses. The other thing to ask, I know this is going to be a long conversation, but ask about the specific wording on the prescription. Sometimes when healthcare providers write a prescription for a wig, they just write wig, and that's not acceptable to a lot of insurance companies. Likely they'll have your provider write cranial prosthesis or hair prosthesis. So it has to be that wording on the prescription. Also, what billing code should be included on the prescription. Most likely it'll be one of these three, but just make sure that the billing code is correct. And also, when you submit everything to your insurance to get it covered, what's everything you need to submit? Most likely it'll be your prescription from your doctor and your receipt from the hair salon that you go to. Just a practical tip, you're going to be getting a lot of data. Just when you're talking to the representative, make note of the date and the time and the insurance representative that you spoke with, just so you have a track of what's going on. Step two, the most fun of all, see your friendly dermatologist. Get a prescription that says most likely cranial prostheses, the diagnosis, the ICD-10 code, and the billing code that you talk to your insurance about. Another practical tip, it's possible your physician has never written a prescription for a wig or a hairpiece, so include everything of what you're supposed to or include a list of everything that you're supposed to include on the prescription, because oftentimes there's a lot of misinformation and here, there, everywhere. This will just streamline the process. Step three is find your wig provider. Also, sometimes insurance companies require an in-network provider for a wig, or you could ask for an out-of-network exemption. But basically, just ask your insurance company, where should you go to get your hairpiece? Step four, buy your hairpiece. When you buy your hairpiece, your receipt should include the following: when you purchased it, where you purchased it, the tax ID of the company that you purchased it from, where they are, what you bought, and how much was it. Likely your hairpiece, where you get them or where you get the hairpiece, they should be familiar with this and they'll just give it to you all on the receipt. The next step, send your prescription and your receipt to the insurance. They might also make you document a medical claim form, which is usually number 1500. So you usually have to submit form 1500, your prescription, and your receipt. And the practical tip is just send a copy of everything. Send everything via email or certified mail. There's going to be miscommunication in this process, so just make sure you keep good records of everything. And the last practical tip is to download our worksheet from Noted Dermatology. It's free. It's meant to help you. Hopefully it'll help streamline the process of getting a hairpiece if you need it. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching.